We are live. Woohoo! All right. Welcome, 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 everybody. It is Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. I have to think about this one moment, Bliss. Yes, I believe today is Tuesday. We are here with a Liz and a Abby. Personal brand photographers. Super excited to be here with them today. As you know, I like to challenge the status quo. And by doing that, I have invited, last time I had a panel with brand strategists, same as myself. Now, I'm not a brand photographer, but I know my way around brand photography. Not something that I'm going to be offering. But what I yeah, haha. But how I do like to challenge the status quo is to invite experts that are in the same field to show, haha, there's no competition. We all have our own niche. We all have our own market. Marketing is marketing. Photography is photography. It's how we're filling that vessel with ourselves. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Liz Riley. So I'm going to say that properly. Liz Riley.
Yeah, you got to get the Aussie accent in it. Liz Riley.
Go on, yeah. Liz Riley and Abby Wilkes.
Go on then. Yeah,
Wilkes.
fine.
I'll do the Dutch way. I can't do a Dutch accent, but Wilkes.
Wilkes.
There we go. Woohoo! So ladies, please introduce yourself. We'll start alphabetically. Abby, go ahead while I am checking out if we are live.
Let me know in time, yeah, when you want me to repeat myself again.
Cool. You go, Abby. You go. Introduce yourself, please.
Fantastic. Well, hi everybody. I'm Abby. I am Dutch, but I've been living in the UK for about 24, 25 years. I've only kind of been a personal brand photographer probably for the last, 5, 6 years. Before that, I was a family photographer. Absolutely loved it, the connection, all of that. But I then realized as well that all climbing in trees for the rest of my life, that's not really something I was really looking forward to. And then I just happened to roll into that people they want to have the wide background of the photography. And I really thought this is not really how I envisaged. Be a bit different. I challenged them. I said, come on, let me have a go, just totally different. What you want, what you're going to look for. And then she really also said, I really like to connect with people. That's pretty much how it started. And now I am very, very fortunate to photograph really the change makers who are really seeking to be seen around the world, who really can help them eliminate their doubts, the inhibitions, all the paradigms, and I really help them to be seen on a soul level. And we're talking about the rebels, the trailblazers. I really, really love them, from CEOs to love warriors, tantric goddesses, and you cannot make me happier than photographing them, I have to say. And it started, of course, with the photography, the headshots and all of that, but now you realize that people really would like to don't always see how they see themselves, and that is the beauty that I find that people have given me feedback I didn't even know that I was actually doing, was the fact that actually seeing them really speaking from soul to soul. And that is such a beautiful thing when you see that transformation, where people actually see that, and I can actually make that transformation in the camera and show the people how the world and the universe sees them, and I cannot be happier doing that.
Go Abby! And she wins the prize of today! Enthusiasm! Yes, baby! Oh, I love it. And all the way from Holland and living in the UK, we are going all the way across the pond to Australia. In Australia, Liz Riley. Tell me, share a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I am a personal branding consultant and also a photographer. I started photography around about sort of 7 years ago or so. That was as a sidekick to my corporate job, which I was in for about 13 years, doing sales and marketing, and also user interface design as well. And like many of us out there, that soul-sucking job, I started to run for the hills for it after a while, and realizing that photography was really what I wanted to do. I was doing a lot of portrait photography and female portrait photography because I really wanted to help women see just how amazing and beautiful that they were and what it is that they can actually bring to this world. And I started off doing that. That was as the sidekick, as I said. And then once I left corporate, I was still doing portrait, and I also came to the branding element as well. And it was pretty quick, actually, which I was quite surprised about, where I realized that something was off. Something just wasn't right. And I did a lot of work, a lot of learning as well. And that's where it is I now sort of actually transitioned into doing brand consulting and strategy, and also the photography part of it as well. And by doing this, I actually help my clients to actually, before they get to the photo shoot, to actually really understand who they are as a business owner and as a person, help them to understand the perception that they want to shape to the world, help them understand what makes them unique and beautiful and amazing and remarkable, and how to also position that in the marketplace so that they are distinctive and unique. And then I translate that into the photos. I want to make sure that my clients, that, as I said, before they get to the photo shoot, they have a complete vision of what's going to happen on the day. They know exactly what they're going to do. They know exactly who they are. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to see that before they get to the photo shoot, they have absolute 150% confidence and love in themselves and who they are and how it is that they want to show themselves up to the world. And it's beautiful. It's amazing, because I think also when I first started off in photography, a lot of the clients that I was getting were more so trying to use the photo shoot as a way to give them confidence.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's where we get sort of like, oh my God, I can't pose. I'm not photogenic, and we're running for the hills with the Spanx on. And I want them to have that vision before they actually get there. And it's the most amazing process to actually go through and to be able to take my clients through as well.
So for myself, when I do my photo shoot with my photographer, I send her a Pinterest board of just some ideas. Like, she's not even on Pinterest, so actually it's screenshots. These are screenshots of the Pinterest board. So that's how far we go. And then I'll go and buy some costumes or find stuff, and then sometimes stuff doesn't even arrive. And then I arrive at the photo shoot. And I'm a firm believer in alter egos. I love alter egos. And I've been often criticized that I'm hiding behind the alter ego. When I do, portrait shots or something, I'm the Mad Hatter, or my shot where I'm a shaman, that I was actually aiming for Jack Sparrow, but anyway,
I did think
so much for that idea. I'm always doing stuff because I like to express myself in different ways and methods and get criticized for that. How do you deal with, even though you've prepared everyone and they come on set and something doesn't fit or something's not happening, how do you ease into the situation to bring about, hey, let's try this, I can see something in you like this, try a little bit with this alter ego, or try a little bit with this alter ego? Because often entrepreneurs are so held back by the stereotypical image of how your headshots should look, what they should look like, that you should have just, this phase over here and then blended in the background and, that type of thing. So how do you go about going to them and just saying, let's just go with the flow. Let's just see where this is going. I mean, obviously you're confident in doing that, but what is your advice for those that come on set to go, hey, if things go wrong, this is what we're going to do?
Okay, well, yeah, again, I come from places all about the preparation of the photo shoot, and it's getting to know them as well, and for them to trust you, and that starts from even giving them examples. If you want to have an alter ego, but for example, or something totally different, that I give them the opportunity that they can be whoever they want to be, and even if they think that is not supposed to. I come from a place of play. So even when it's okay, you might not use the photos, but just for us, let's have a play. And if they turn out that those are like, oh my gosh, I actually absolutely love them, and these things have happened in the past, that is so beautiful when you're able to get them out of their comfort zone to actually more be themselves. But isn't that what it's all about personal branding, about the photography? Because you are your brand, but you have to help them, you have to guide them that they are actually okay. You give them permission almost kind of to be themselves. And if that means that you go for an alter ego, I would actually say the more you are different, the more excited you make me, because I go, let's just totally play, let's just go for this. And I always say, like, it is to give them the confidence, it is a digital camera, let's just take the photos. And as I said, you don't have to use them if you love them, which has happened as well. Oh my gosh, I love them so much, let's just totally use them. Fantastic. And that is the best, I think, beforehand as well, that you give them the confidence. And I always say, just challenge yourself a little bit and just see where it takes us. But there's never pressure that, okay, we said we were going to do this and therefore we're going to do this. I come from a place like, as you mentioned, let's just go with the flow and let's see where it just takes us. And
so how do you get, sorry.
Yeah, no, go.
So how do you get people confident, Liz? How do you get people confident?
So the way
that's a big deal. Like you get on set and it's like, okay, in my mind, because that's what a lot of people do, is like they're expecting certain things and this is the way it's going to run, and then they're confident in that situation, but when things go on the blink, then it's like, oh well, how am I going to step into my confidence now?
Yeah, and that can definitely happen in a shoot. So I am, if I sort of go back a little bit, so I am someone who I do help them understand before they get to the shoot, as I said before, like what parts of their alter ego that they might want to be able to sort of play up with. And we define sort of certain scenes so they already have a vision for it. But I also sort of say to them, it's like, this here is just a bit of a starting place. So it's not that it has to be, exactly like this, but it's just to help them to be able to actually like step into that feeling, step into that role, gives them sort of like a vision that they can actually think of. So like, let's say, it might be an element where they go, oh yeah, right, that's it. This is my badass self that I'm trying to, like show up on. And we will just have a play. We will have, they'll have an idea of a type of pose that we will actually sort of think of that would be able to like bring this emotion across. But it's not completely set in stone. It's something that they, as I said, was just a bit of a starting point, and we might move, we might do this. There's all these other elements, and it's that, like, for me, it's for them to also get into that flow of also the movement in front of the camera, and just to be able to have that fun and have that, and yes, as Abby said, maybe the photo that we actually do want to use in the end might not be exactly what it is that we were sort of thinking, but it still is enhancing that part of your personality that you're wanting to actually leverage and step forward with. And one thing that I always like help my get my clients to do is like, okay, if this here is, let's say, if you want to portray or we're doing something that's a bit more sort of soft and intuitive and peaceful, it's like, I want you to imagine that feeling in your mind, and it helps them to be able to actually get there. And as I said, it's realizing that even though that we have a plan, you don't, it's not saying that, oh, okay, well, it has to be like this, and if it doesn't happen, then it's not going to work. No, not at all. It's being able to step in front of the camera with that idea and that feeling and that vision in your mind, and just go through the flow. And one of the things that I also, help as well is that I always, get them to do a bit of a dance off, get them to dance a little bit, and just to get rid of those nerves. And we will do crazy photos, and we will do photos that will be spot on, because of the fact that's how, I want the flow of the day to actually go. Because also sometimes some of the best photos are the ones that are done on the in-between.
Yeah, always. Those were my. I had my series of photos that were done. So I agree with you, Liz, Abby. And right in the end, my photographer was like, "No, now we're taking everything off and we're just going natural." And I'm like, and they're all my black and white photos. And she just said, "Put your hair up and then pull your sleeves down." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then those came out of there. I was like, "Oh, they're actually really nice. I like them."
And I think it's also having that openness, and that even though you have a plan, it's having that openness and the element to realize that, you know, during the day, anything can happen where you all of a sudden get another idea that will come up and you'll just go, yes, let's run with this. This is brilliant. You know, you look amazing and it's also going to enhance this. And yeah, so it's,
I totally agree, and that is the beauty with it as well. Like, you build that connection with each other, don't you? You build that trust, and that's why preparation is absolutely everything. That's where you really get to know each other. Really, like, you know, how what you said that right, Liz. You know, is that like, you know, it is the feeling, how you feel, like, and you know, doubts and anything like that. You do with that beforehand, so you both kind of like prepared. And yes, of course, you know, you can be the most confident person, but the moment we all know, the moment you get in front of the camera, self-conscious. Is you get so self-conscious, and I'm not here that you're going to be like this diva. Hi, look at me, or just amazing in front of the camera. I'm just asking you. Just let me gently take you by the hand in a playful way that you are more comfortable. And the moment, and I always say, you know, the first, you know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however, let's do a bit of a warm-up. And I always say, it's for you, but guess what? It's also for me too. And let's just gently, and towards the end, you're totally right, Liz. We're like, you know, we're dancing, we're making fun. It's like, oh my God, we laugh too much in the photos. Just not good. Calm down. Yeah? And that is the beauty, because you trust each other, because you build up that relationship with each other. And that's why that is so unbelievably important.
That is. So tell me, one of the questions that we had was, okay. One of the questions was, when you're planning your photo shoot, should you be wearing your brand colors? I don't wear my brand colors. Me personally, I'm like, nah. My brand colors are kind of like, well, my brand message, my values need to come through. So what advice, what tips do you give to those that are planning or wanting to plan a photo shoot and going, well, I've got all these eclectic colors, but I've got nothing in that. So it means I need to go buy stuff, and that means I don't have money for it. So then I don't actually, when I get that, then I'll go for the photo shoot. What's your advice on that?
Okay, so like, of course, you know, we do see a lot of people that put a lot of their brand colors into their outfits, which I think is great, but I don't see it as a 100% must that you have to do. You might find, okay, like as you said, you've got all these eclectic colors, we don't have the clothes. Maybe you might just have little bit of earrings that might have the colors, and that there is enough. You don't have to dress yourself completely up and down in your, you know, like in your brand colors. I think what is more important, like of course your brand does, you know, in the actual website design does have to have your brand colors through it. But I think also what is more important is that when you do find something to wear, that the colors that you're wearing actually enhance your skin tone and actually match your personality as well.
Yeah.
Because this is also something that I you know, yes, there's a lot of pink out there and everybody loves pink, you know, and I don't, but you know, and some people go, oh, you know, I see that's what I want because it's quite trendy at the moment, that's sort of going on. But you know, you might like pink, but pink might not like you. And when it also comes to your photos, that can actually make you look washed out. It can also cause shadowing on the element. So for me, it's like, you know, yes, you can have some of you, if you want to go for, you know, the big bright pink skirt and you've got it, that there is brilliant. But if you've only just got like a little pink necklace, that there is fine as well. That it can only just sort of be hints. And just make sure also that what you're wearing, that the colors that you're wearing, as I said, enhance your skin tones, but also enhance your personality as well. Because you'll also feel a hell of a lot more confident when you know that you're actually wearing the right outfits, you're wearing colors that make you glow like you are pregnant. That's
I wasn't glowing.
Oh, wait a
at
minute.
all.
Wait a minute. I've got to glow.
Rewind.
Wait a
Rewind.
minute.
Why was I not glowing when I was pregnant? I was matte. that wasn't my experience, people.
You got one more now. Yeah.
Damn.
I have to say, I totally agree with Liz. When you go for brand colors, you don't have to be from top to bottom every single photo brand colors. I actually think by that time your hopefully potential clients will know what your brand colors are. So there's no need to emphasize that. To me, it's also like you don't, as Liz exactly said, I can only totally agree with her. You can emphasize it with small things, except for the last bit, I got to practicing, not quite sure about that. But, but with regard to, you can have things in the background, but on the other hand, don't feel like every single photo needs to have some kind of aspect of the brand color in there, as long as the colors that you wear do not clash with your brand colors. That would be a very important one. And also, like, you listen to yourself, you have your favorite pieces that you wear. When you wear it, people also like, oh my gosh, your eyes look amazing in that. They really pop. Oh, I love what you're wearing. Those are things you should be listening to and what you feel comfortable with. The moment you actually decide to buy something new that you really think that looks really nice, but you feel uncomfortable in it, guess what? The camera just doesn't lie. It just doesn't lie. So therefore, it's most important that you are comfortable and feel good and confident, and then the best will be shown. As simple as that.
I love that. I love that. So one of the other questions is if you're going to have a photo shoot for your personal brand, what are your top tips to get the most from it?
Oh, for me, it's definitely actually number one is preparation. To me, seriously, preparation. Everything is in the preparation. I always say, like, trust me, the photo shoot will happen. And the more and the deeper, and we talk about okay, but the preparation, that's it.
Yeah.
It will, and but it's the homework, the fun homework you do beforehand. What you mentioned before with regard to going on Pinterest. Gosh, that's hard work. Really tough going on Pinterest, choosing, the colors and the photos that you like. Oh gosh. But how great is that? And all of that is just a deeper from, and some people, they don't know. They don't know what they want out of a photo shoot or, out of the branding. That's where we help them. And to me, and again, the branding comes from you. So we're going really, really deep, from when, your core values, those are the things, and more clarity as in where you would like to go to. To me, it's like, okay, coming back to your question, good one, 3 tips, right? Preparation, have fun, and what's the third one? Have fun? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I love it. Love it, Abby. You, Liz?
Yeah, mine is also on preparation as well. Thanks, Abby.
That's quite all right.
Yeah, they've never met before.
Definitely preparation. For myself, the way that I also work with my clients is that I want them to remember that this here is their brand and it is their vision. Even though I'm the photographer, I'm the one that's actually helping them actually bring it to life. And also one of the things that I also, the way that I work, and also what I truly believe is that also when it comes to your website, every image has a place, every image has a purpose, every image should align with the copy that you're trying to enhance that story. And so because of that, I actually, help them to be able to have that complete plan and understanding, okay, what sort of scene they're going to be doing, what story they're going to tell. They've got complete clarity on the entire day, and they've got a complete clarity on the vision that they are trying to create. And they actually know up front exactly, not 100% exactly, but because of course, things can change, as we just sort of said, but they have got that vision completely before they get to that photo shoot. And I've also found that with a lot of my clients, they're just like, by having those expectations and understanding, being able to actually see it in their mind where they can fully see what is going to happen and what photos that they are going to create and how they are going to show up, they're like, yes, I might be a little bit more nervous, but I don't have the anxiety anymore that there has been able to. So definitely the preparation in regards to having that vision in regards to what it is that's going to be happening on the day, the vision of the type of images that you want to have, and also really understand, how do you want to show up? How do you want to show up as you, as the best version of you that's also going to attract your soul clients that you actually want to work with? And when you have that in place, that's where you can swander on into the swander on into the photo shoot.
You know, what I found is that being, you know, brand and business strategist, is that, I mean, you guys are phenomenal photographers, phenomenal. And it's like when someone comes and goes, can we do a same thing? Can you design me a logo, or can you create me my strategy? And I'm going, yeah, but that's just the cherry on the top. So the end photos are just the cherry on the top. So like with you, there's the preparation beforehand, and that preparation includes also, and you both mentioned it, is the storytelling. You know, preparing for that. What's the story that you want to be telling? Where are you telling the story, and what is it about? And just like you know, life, we change. You know, like we dogs that lose our hair, so we and in these seasons is, you know, who I am today in summer isn't how I'm going to be feeling maybe in winter. So I sometimes recommend, you know, you don't need to pack all your eggs in one basket. Prepare, maybe take that photo shoot and spread it over twice for the year, and go and take 2 photo shoots. So you have not just a lot of photos to work with, but just you telling different stories and different phases of your life as well. And that preparation makes fun, because there's storytelling, there's the vision, like you both were saying, that's in there. And also, you know, I mean, not the client won't often know this, but you know this, you know, the website, social media, everything, you need to have photos that are landscape. You need to have them horizontal in portrait. You can play around with them. So there might be a favorite shot that's in portrait, but it would look amazing if it was in horizontal. So for a graphic designer, I don't know how often it's been, you in a photo, you get the photos and it's like, oh man, I can't put this in the landscape because it's a portrait photo. This is such a bummer. And then then it's like, we need to think about these things. So it's easier for preparing for a brand shoot, that where you're going to have the photos that you're going to know in which format you're going to be needing them as well. And that makes it easier for the photographer when you're telling stories, because it's like, I get this. Yes. I mean, for a wedding photographer, it's almost always portrait photos, always, because the dress is long, everything is long, the people, everything is all in portrait.
People are long, yeah.
People are long. Not in my family.
No,
anyway.
okay.
And the other things are also that when for the tips that you're going into is also, I already mentioned, you mentioned as well, is to keep the storytelling in there. Often we forget about the storytelling, and you take the photos, and then when you bring it into the brand or the branding, they don't fit. And then it's like, oh, that's a disappointment. And it's it's like you present the branding, and then a few months down the line, it's like, nah, you know, I've changed. This isn't fitting with us anymore. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know, you can plan ahead. Like you guys said, prepare a little bit. Prepare.
It's all a little preparation, okay? Yeah. But then again, you know, what you've been saying, seriously, preparation is everything. And that's why also, again, you know, even before I connect, you know, or that the client books me, you know, I must have that, you know, connection even before my client books me, from both sides, to say, like, are we fit? Kind of like, are we a fit? Kind of like, does it, you know, do we kind of like get each other? Is the energy right? And all that, because when I listen to them, I really truly listen. I've been with a client, she flew over from all the way from the US to Ibiza. And she had this kind of like idea what she wanted, absolutely fantastic. But through our conversation, she realized, like, I said I wanted this, but actually I don't think I want this. Okay, fantastic. And then it really came out, and it turned out it was going to be, she had a different idea of in the end how it turned out. And that's why it's so important, because, just because you have an idea, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's not always suited for the look and the feel and how you want to resonate with the clients that you want to work with. And that's why it's so important, like that you do, that you are a right fit for each other, so you get each other, and it works both ways. Because again, but my clients get, oh, thank you, without you. I said, well, I can't do it without you either. So it's that it's true though, isn't it? I mean, it's that amazing teamwork that to me is absolutely vital for every single photo shoot. There is so much as a photographer, when the client doesn't feel it, well, I can work really, really hard, but I also say still again, the camera doesn't lie. So that's why the preparation, as Liz said as well, it's so absolutely vital. And I put a lot of, work into that. And we both do. Absolutely. Yeah.
So there was a couple of points I just wanted to bring up there, Sasha, as well. So I think, firstly, as you mentioned in regards to the website element, is that, they do sort of tend to be horizontal. You can have portrait ones as well. But that there is also what I also do with my clients, is that we do a bit of a sketch in regards to what the website outline will be, and also what the top level story elements are that you're trying to say, so that we ensure that we're actually getting the right type of photo, and then we actually then know, okay, are you center, are you right, do we need to like have text for this element because it's a main header. So we have that all planned out to make sure that we are getting the right photos, so you don't go and put 3.5K down the drain and you've got all the portrait photos that you can't use. So that for me is a really big part of the planning beforehand, to really have that outlined. And yes, and you're right, the things like our brand is a living and breathing thing, so, and we will evolve as it goes along. So of course, it is always good to always have it updated as you go along. One thing I tend to find with a lot of clients, that when they reach out to me and they're saying, oh yes, I want to rebrand, and I ask them what they have in place, and they usually say logo, colors, a business name, and then at that point, without having any other foundations put in, they're already going to Pinterest. And they're already pinning, and what's happening is that they're actually pinning what they see on Instagram of what it is that they like and what they think they should have as branding photography. And it's not until you actually then sort of say, okay, now let's go from the ground up, and let's sort of really work through this and understand that story and understand your positioning and understand that creative twist that you want to use to tell your brand story through, and then start to do the design and then get the vision, and then you can go to Pinterest. But people do it the other way around. So
because we don't know any better. You only know what you know. So you can only work with what you've got.
Exactly.
So to keep an eye on the time, I would love to know from you as a last question for both of you. So what, when you get, recommend me a photographer, and then everyone goes, and then you see all the photographers. What is it that someone looking for a photographer should be looking for? What are your, I'm not even going to say like 3 tips or whatever, but what are the things that you would like to inspire those that are planning a brand shoot, that are looking for a photographer, planning for a photographer? What should they be planning for? What should they be prepping for? Anybody?
Sorry, I was like,
why do I have to go first all the time? Okay, cool. Fine. To me, the most important thing is that you resonate with your photographer, that you really, like, energy-wise, whatever you call it, I think that's very important, and that you really, that you understand each other. And I think that is the most important thing. And also, for me, for the photographer to get the best out of you. And that, I think, is also like very, very important. And that they listen, and of course, like the portfolio that they've got, there is no, like, if you are looking for For example, with me, if you're looking for purely white background and you would like to have just photos with the laptop and a tea mug, I might not be your photographer. I look much deeper and further because I do not want you to look like everybody else. You, as I said, you are unique. But then if that is mainly what you want, that's absolutely fine, but I might not be the right photographer for you. So that's where, like, do your homework, speak to other people who already had their branding shoots done. Ask the question, ask them why did they like their photographer. I think those things are very important to move forward. And always, again, as Liz said, always have a chat before people. I can't go. I'd like to book you. Yeah, great. Must have a chat first, and you see whether it works, because it has worked in the past. Yes, fantastic, it works, and sometimes it just might not, and that's fine too. And that's kind of like the why we are here together, to show, like, we are both, personal branding photographers, but again, do things differently, again, with the same core values, but very, very different. So that makes it all very, very exciting as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I 100% agree. That's it. No. It's absolutely. You have to be able to connect with that person. Like, I know for myself, I'm probably way too much for some people who are I'm just like, and that there is absolutely fine. I know that the clients that do work with me do also resonate with my personality and my crazy antics, and they're also people who want to actually have something that is distinctive and is not the norm that they see all the time. Like Abby said, I even have it on my website. If all you want is a photo of you in a cafe, there are plenty of other photographers out there that can do it for you. I'm not the photographer for you. But if you actually want to be able to actually, in this moment, use your creativity to the best that you can, and to really leverage who you are and be able to, create something that is remarkable and distinctive, then let's chat. And it's the element of being able, because there are amazing photographers, and I will also say as well that it can also be down to the type of photography that you want. So, like, the look and feel, because you might find that, let's say, that the look and feel of your brand is a little bit more sort of dark and moody, an element like that. So why are you booking a photographer that's got all these bright light and pretty photos, when realistically what you want is the opposite? So it's also it's a match for style, and it's a match for personality, and it's also a match for values as well, in regards to both what you believe in and what you want to be able to create. And then also, as Abby said, you have that first phone call, and when you realize that you're a match made in fucking heaven for each other,
it's like, let's go, yes, let's do this. And I think one of the comments was Kevin was saying, he had, it's horrible when you hire a photographer and you're busy speaking to someone, and then you arrive at the day and they're very rigid. And then you're both feeling very uncomfortable with one another. So where possible, even meeting personally, so you can really feel the aura, the energy or what's happening there. It's not always possible, depending on where you are and living and stuff. But I think it's cool. Me personally, I love to go on, because I'm a visual person. So when I go onto a website, it needs to speak my language, and they need to be. And what I tend to find, I haven't checked out all of your websites. I mean, I have, but it's been a while. But what I tend to love about photographers is when you come onto the website and there's actually videos of the photographer, where they're talking in their personality, like Sue Bryce Photography, or someone from Creative Live, or Jasmine Star, those big names or whatever. But where you actually see the person and the personality, and not just a photo, where it's static. That's what I personally love, and I'm like, no, I like this
book now. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So tell us one thing, how you would love to change the world doing what you do, as we close off for today. Nice deep question.
You could have warned us there a little bit.
No.
Okay, as I am going first every single time. Finally, fine, For me, it's absolutely like I am here to really photograph the change makers that are so needed in the world, from the rebels to trailblazers to the CEOs, whoever they are. I think it's very important. We have to move away from the whole material things and really discover the real treasure of the value of like how we resonate with other people and how we run our business, because we are here to make a difference in the world. And for me, to be able to create a platform for those people who actually need to be seen, that is for me the most beautiful path and passion that I, have created for myself. And and what an amazing way to work together to make this world a better place, right?
Love that. I love that.
Crap. Just stop.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, it is about working with not just women, also men as well, but working with entrepreneurs and helping them actually truly see that uniqueness and that amazing, that remarkable element within them, where they have so much self-belief in regards to why they are here and the changes that they can make in the world and what they bring out into the world. And no matter what troll comes along to try and take them down, they are so confident and filled with so much self-love and just the element of like, I am who I am and I'm proud who I am, and I am here to show the world that I really do have something to give. That there is where I just kind of go weak at the knees at. That makes me weak. So yeah.
Oh, Liz, you want to be my photographer? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me today, and for the listeners. And if you're watching, #replay, and you'll find also in the comments the websites for Liz Riley and for Abby Wilkes. Liz Riley.
Okay.
Get that accent.
Yeah, love it.
Accent in. And you can find out more about these gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous women. They are phenomenal photographers. They know their shit. They know where they're coming from. Definitely, it'd be really cool to see you two photographing each other. I think that's a good idea. That'll be really, really
cool.
Back
to Holland, Abby.
I'm actually going over next week. Yeah.
Cool. That's so cool. That's Made in Heaven. Thank you very, very much. Have an awesome day. And if you're looking for a photographer, here we go. The ladies fly everywhere. The ladies, wherever you are, they'll also be there. They're not chained down to where they live.
No.
That's the beauty of photography. All you need is a gorgeous DSLR. Yeah. And the lighting, and they're there like a bomb. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tasha. Thank you,
everyone, for listening.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day. Have an almost day.
Almost day. Okay, thanks for that, Tasha. Thanks.
So some vodka in here.
Yeah, I'm putting vodka in the juice now. So
water.
Yeah, right.
You're right.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.